We in the bar have to be leaders.
Welcome, bienvenidos, to the Top Trial Lawyers Luncheon today.
I don't believe you can talk about the opioid problem without talking about the person who is in pain. The two go together. It's kind of like having pancakes without syrup.
And I have the pleasure of introducing Nicholas Kratz from the Victory Medical Center. So, Nicholas, come on down.
What we offer is a variety of specialties.
When I trained at the University of Illinois, all my attendings there, they basically believed that the patients were either lying or crazy, and that's basically what initially formed my perception. But then I moved to Houston, and I started working with Bill Donovan over at North Shore Orthopedics, and he basically taught me how to be a treating doctor.
These are topics that we cover in the Houston Business Journal, whether it's breaking news or you have a story or something to pitch to one of our reporters, you have that opportunity. In addition, you can post in the classifieds anything that you have going on within your services, advertising, and also find leads.
First, you always start out with two rules: employment at will, and that means that the employer or employee can end the employment arrangement for any reason, no reason, the wrong reason, or stupid reason, so long as it's not a discriminatory reason.
And our mission since the 1970s has been and continues to be to strive to educate and promote our legal profession. And we do that in the form of continual legal education such as this seminar.
The kind of cases we take or the kind of practice we have, the kind of lawyers we want to be. Are we making our choices based on, well, what are the odds of me being successful? What are the odds of me being rich, or whatever it is that you're out to achieve? Well, if that's how you're making your decision about how you want to practice law, I respectfully submit you're making a big mistake.
Now, I'm not shy when it comes to calling an adjuster up and saying, look, your attorney really didn't do much. He's a good person, he's a good guy, a good person, but I did most of the work, I did almost all the depositions. And at this point, I want to negotiate the lien. And the lien can be negotiated up to a third. However, I'm not shy in saying, I want 40 or 50%.
Really the gamut. We do a tremendous amount of everything from bariatrics to general surgery to endoscopic procedures.
I'm a big proponent of alternative dispute resolution. My background is in insurance defense, so I try to take advantage of going to mediation when I thought it would be helpful. Having a pro se plaintiff on the other side would be a situation, and when I still think a mediator is indeed helpful.
It is imperative that we ask your help to educate your networks about a couple of things. Number one is that people do some of the most bizarre things on the roadways and develop some of the most bizarre attitudes while on the roadways. And there's consequences for that.
One of the things that lawyers that get involved in representing professionals in this kind of maelstrom of a nightmare is trying to explain to them that although what they did may make business sense, it may be seen as fraud and abuse by the government. If a doctor comes in and wants to do a deal and it makes business sense, I usually tell them it's probably illegal. If it makes business sense, it's probably illegal. That's a crazy world to start from, but that's really kind of the default position.
What if instead of doing exclusionary things and asking closed-ended questions and saying, you know, ma'am, you don't believe in pain and suffering, do you? You don't believe in giving money for pain and suffering, do you? I'm going to ask you to answer that question. That's a closed-ended question. What if instead of that, we started having real, legitimate, honest conversations with jurors?
At Victory Med Center, we have truly advanced technology. We had to have that because of our location and proximity to the medical center.
In our practice, in our daily lives, we spend too much time thinking about the odds, thinking about what our chances of success are. And we're missing great opportunities. That's my point here.
We have a navigation program for your clients so that if you refer someone over or you're looking for a specific specialist, someone that is used to working with attorneys, we can help you connect with those.
A large number of Jones Act cases will involve general maritime claims. Fifth Circuit has held that the seaman may recover punitive damages for a willful and wanton breach of the general maritime duty to provide a seaworthy vessel.
It used to be, for the first 20 years of this law, that absolutely nobody was disabled, okay? Anytime anyone filed a claim under the Americans with Disabilities Act, all it needed to do was check one box to figure out how the defendant or the company would get out of the case. There's almost no verdicts. Everyone got poured out. That all changed in the year 2008. Congress changed the law. President Bush signed the amended ADA, and now every single human being is disabled.
You know, the best definition I've ever heard from any attorney about an executive is the executive are the ones who are in the office and they don't do anything. They tell people what to do. Get me some coffee, get me that report, get this person on the phone, let me see this person. So they don't actually do any of the actual work of the company, but they get into there on the meetings and they're on, you know, things, they sign off on things. But they don't do any of the work. They're doing a lot of pointings, things like that. Bringing people in, you know, get Jones on the line, you know, things like that.
One other element I will mention is that we know that different firms have different needs and you're looking for different things. So for some firms, you may be looking for a one-stop. I want to be able to send someone over and I don't want to then call the anesthesiologist and then find the surgeon and then call the surgeon's implant guy and work through all that and find a hospital. We would be glad to take care of that for you. Other firms may prefer they have a network that they like, a group of physicians that you already work with. We would be delighted to work with those physicians.
I submit you find something that you care about, that you're good at, and you do it. And if that means being a civil rights lawyer, we need more of them. Be one. If that means you want to be an insurance defense, be one.
As a practitioner in comp, I can tell you that insurance companies have just gone absolutely berserk. To the point that last August, the main lawyer for the, it is called the Employees Council, Mr. Darwin, declared at the conference that's had every year by the workers' comp people, declared that the current Texas workers' comp system is unconstitutional. This is their lawyer. He says it's just silly. A worker can no longer get medical care.
And about a month ago, on April 22nd, my firm got the first natural gas fracking verdict in the country. Fracking is going to become very relevant and very important to both plaintiff lawyers and defense lawyers. So let's first talk about what is fracking. Fracking sounds much like the other four-letter word, not in a good way. That's a joke.
A big difference under the Longshore Act compared to the state law claims, you can never waive medical under the Longshore Act. Even if you file untimely, you're late, whatever the case may be, you're still entitled to the medical benefits under the Act.
We'd love the opportunity to take care of your patients.
I am a conspiracy realist. I don't believe it's a conspiracy theory. I believe it's real and it is happening to us. When Congress passed the First Amendment, it was quite simple. It says Congress shall make no law abridging the right of free speech, assembly, and press. That's essentially what it says. But the problem that we're facing is we're being slaughtered with technology. And let me see if I can do it this way. And I'm going to do it from the standpoint of being a paranoid lawyer. When Edward Snowden gave his revelation that they are listening to our phone calls, they are gathering our data, they are downloading the information, and they're getting it from our service provider, and our U.S. government is using this data, and we're U.S. citizens, it played right into the hands of the Anthony Griffins of the world that says it is true.
Of course, we can't take every case that moves us because we'll eventually go bankrupt, right? We have to earn a living. But you take cases to keep your practice afloat, but you take cases that move you, even if they're tough cases, even if the odds are against you, even if the chances are you will lose. Right? Too many of us don't do that. Too many of us take the easy way. And in that, you're missing the opportunity. Or, too many of us choose the kind of practice we want to have based on the wrong things and based on the odds. And I think that's a mistake. Finally, we in the bar have to be leaders. And I'm not suggesting, well, you got to be on a bar committee or you got to, however you choose to lead, we'll be more influential inside the tent than we will on the outside screaming and hollering. Now, we need people screaming and hollering, don't get me wrong. But we also need to recognize as lawyers that we're not all of one political mind in this room. And we shouldn't be pigeonholed in that way. There's a lot of us are straight down the middle. Some are very left, some are very right. But we all need to be active and be leaders. I mean, the great leaders of our country have always been what? Lawyers.